Talk about the this place we're at right now, Oregon. Like, what has changed so much since you've been here? Because it seems like they just keep growing every single year, and things just keep getting better and better.
It's impressive. It's impressive. There was a streak there when we were done where there was kind of a transition of coaches over and over again. But I think the heart and soul of the program has always been Eugene. It's like the only thing in town, right? Like, no matter, regardless of how the team's doing, like that stadium's usually sold out. And there's such a crazy following here. So to have that kind of steady fandom, I think has always propelled this place to be good. And it's always given this place like expectations. And regardless of who's been the coach, I think guys have always tried to come here because it is the University of Nike. And when you look at it from that standpoint and you let these guys just come in here and play and put it together, you can find ways to be pretty good here. And I think Dan's kind of found the formula, and it's been cool to watch.
What's it like when you walk into this building and you go up? I don't know. This place is a maze, but you walk up the stairs, one of these 17 staircases, and you look over, and it's got the islands of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And there's another hallway that has the 8 Mariota jersey. Like,
yeah.
What is that like? What does that feel like?
Well, our first visit here, we're walking in, we're like, yo, this is Marcus's house.
Like, it's crazy. You're only Heisman Trophy winner. It's sitting right there.
It's surreal, man. And
don't do that.
No, it's really, and I don't want to get emotional because it is. It like, I came here, I was 17 years old. Like, didn't have much thought about what was going on outside of Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And come to this place in Eugene, I was so homesick my first year. But, like, they took me kind of under their wing, and regardless of who it was, like, it was people in the community, it was the staff. A lot of the trainers are still here that I was here with. So they really kind of helped me transition into who I was. And yeah, it does get a little emotional because it's such a part of you. And it's kind of, like I said, it's surreal, like, to think that middle of the Pacific, some kid gets to come here and become the only Heisman Trophy winner. Like, that's where I don't even know what the odds are of that, right? Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of blows my mind, and still to this day, like, even walking through there, it's just surreal.
How'd you go through the process of choosing Oregon?
That's a great story, actually. So they offered me before I even started a game in high school.
Before you even started a game?
So there was a guy in front of me. His name was Jeremy Higgins. He's an all-state player. He was great. Left-handed kid, could really throw it. And was committed to Utah State. So I really just had to wait my turn. And I messed around playing receiver. Like, I was doing all sorts of stuff. And I had kind of done the camp circuit and got my name out there, I guess.
Camp circuit, like Nike camps?
So Spark did the Nike Spark camp.
Yeah,
did a couple of combines. They used to hold like these PIAA combines in Hawaii.
And how old are you at this time? Like, what are you, like a sophomore junior?
Probably.
All right. And hadn't started yet?
Yeah, hadn't played. I mean, I played a game here or there when we were blowing teams out, or when Jeremy had gotten hurt. I played a little bit, but nothing to the extent to receive. And Oregon at the time was like playing a national championship.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a weird, wild story that, like, why are you offering this kid who hasn't even played yet? But what I learned the story was the offensive line coach here, Coach Greatwood, was going and recruiting, and he was recruiting at my high school. Monta Gregg, who ended up playing here, was playing guard. And it just so happened while he was there, he, I guess, had noticed me running. Like, we were running sprints or something, and had threw my name out there. So they invited me to come to the camp here. And someone showed me a video, but Johnny kind of talked about this a little bit, Johnny Manziel. And at the time, I was offered and Johnny was offered, but they invited me to this camp, and they basically were like, put me on this team to, I don't know, play with all these other high school kids. And I'd been there for 2 days. I'm in pads, like, doing all this stuff. And Johnny shows up, unpadded, T-shirt and shorts, goes in there, says they're going to do a workout with him. Coach Kelly hasn't really even talked to me. I've been here for 2 days. He's like, hey, like, why don't you just come in, like, just do a workout with Johnny? And I'm mad because I'm like, Johnny's not even been here. He's like offered, whatever. Like, I was just like not feeling the love, basically. Yeah. And we run a 40, we're throwing, and Johnny, the workout was unbelievable. Like, I mean, I can still remember to this day, like, I don't think a ball touched the ground. And it's funny to think, 10 years later or whatever it is, but like you had 2 Heisman Trophy winners sitting there going through a workout together. But I just remember at the time I left and Johnny commits, and I was so mad because I'm like, he hasn't been here. I've been here a couple of days. Like I've been talking to the coaches. Like he just commits on the spot, and I don't even have a chance to commit or whatever. And I was like upset about it. And we're on the plane ride home, and I told my mom like I want to go to Washington. I had got an offer from Washington. Steve Sarkisian was up there, and Sark was like, he wrote out the red carpet. We had talked. I was like, I'm going there. I'm set.
Felt the love from there.
Yeah. So we're sitting there on the plane, and my mom's like, "You really want to go to Washington?" I was like, "No." I mean, Oregon was like everywhere I wanted to be, and she's like, "At some point in time, you're gonna have to compete, so you might as well compete wherever you go, and you might as well go where you want to go." And she told me that, and that was it. And I committed when we got home, and kind of the rest is history. But yeah, that's why I ended up. I was so set on being an Oregon Duck because of guys that had played before me. Like there's a guy named Jeremiah Masoli who went to my high school, had played quarterback here. And I just remember watching the Ducks as a kid, and I was like, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
So for my mom to say that to me in that point in time, I was like, well, yeah, I might as well compete and go where I want to go. So that's how I ended up.
That's awesome.
That is wild, because I did see, I think that was on Club Shay Shay, that Johnny was talking about him seeing Marcus, and he's like, this fucking guy he talks about the workout like not a ball touched the ground. Have you seen that clip? That's it, yeah. And that's what Johnny's like, I'm not going to make it at Oregon. He basically said, like, because of Marcus, I'm not going to make it at Oregon and go to A&M.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah,
what was it
crazy.
like, dude? Talk about growing up in Hawaii. Like anytime that I've taken my family down for a vacation, I've seen 8 jerseys in Hawaii. And the culture there, like even listening to you in the interview, like the perspective that you have, the peaks and valleys, and just the intention and the moments that you seem to live in and appreciate. I feel like that's all over Hawaii. Like that's like Hawaiian culture. Like everybody seems to be so proud of guys like yourself, Manti Te'o, guys who have like made it on the mainland, and talk about that.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm like sitting
no,
there.
you're
I'm sitting there running. I'm like,
Will does in the show is like, talk about it.
I can talk about that, man.
It's funny because growing up, when you like watch the news and they would like the sports would come on, they would just show the athlete. Like they wouldn't even really care about what the score was, like whether they play in the NFL, MLB, like whatever. It was like, hey, so-and-so from Hawaii was 2 for 3 and hit a home run. And it was like, oh, by the way, like the Boston Red Sox won the game. So like very early on, like as a kid, it was always highlighted like people from Hawaii. And you kind of like, that was like, oh, it's a responsibility. Like you want to be able to represent that the best way possible. So that was kind of always in my mind. And then really, I think for Hawaii, like there is a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. Like you're not a part of the continental U.S. So it's like, the closest landmass is 5.5 hours away. So it's like, yeah, there is a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. And everyone's always talking about, oh, you're from Hawaii. Like, maybe the football is a little different down there or whatever. And it was just kind of that type of chip on your shoulder. And people always highlighting those athletes. And I think that really just like creates like this really crazy fandom, and it's a blessing in disguise. And I really like, whenever I look back and think about it, like I'm very lucky to be where I'm from. And when it's all said and done, that's where you'll find me, somewhere on the beach. I'll be like 300 pounds, but I'll be on the beach.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dude, you've been there? All the rice and
it's
all
amazing. It's amazing. When you go there, is it like a movie star showing up?
No.
Bro, it has to be.
No.
Is it crazy?
No.
I'll ask the missus. Do what?
We're not walking around the malls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like.
It's really honestly not that bad.
Who do you think's more famous in Hawaii, you or Manti Te'o?
I'd give Manti. He's got his own Netflix, bro.
He does have his own Netflix. He's got his own Netflix.